Can't really hear music. Hello, Alex Hans. How's it going? No, I'm not playing games tonight. Hello, Lometheus. I'm just waiting for more people to join before I start. Hello, Mo Party. We need some more people to join. Hello, Mr. Sabon. How come I'm not seeing anybody? The users is not showing anyone. Maybe I'll try refreshing the chat. Yeah, kind of weird. I'm not showing any users in chat. I'm just wondering how many people are here right now. If I should go ahead and start the stream. Yeah, well, it's weird. Yeah, I'm seeing... Oh, now some people are starting to show up. I see 3 people. Let's wait for 1 or 2 more. I see Mo Party, Mr. Sabon, and Prometheus. Where is everyone, eh? I'll wait a little bit longer. Okay. I think we have enough people now. Hello, Mike984 and Case Money. I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna see if Draconic Fae wants to join as well. I'll message him. Okay. Let me turn the music down a little bit. And I think I'm ready to go here. Okay, I'm gonna hit record. So I can record while streaming. Useful. Okay, so I'm back from the tournament. I came back late last night. It was a 5-round tournament. I played in the under 1600 category or section, and this is game 1. Yeah. So game 1, I was paired against an unrated opponent. I talked to him before the game briefly, and he said it was his first. Hello, Draconic Fae. He said it was his first tournament game. So this is his first time at a tournament. I'll just tell you right now that the entire game, this opponent, his name is Matthew, he played very quickly. And by quickly, I mean when the game ended, he had his original starting time left. I had like 5 minutes at the end. He had an hour and a half. He basically spent like an average of, I don't know, 20 seconds per move the whole game. And what's interesting is he did that every single game he played all tournament. Whenever I looked at his game, he always had his original starting time. So he basically played as if it was a blitz game every game. Yeah, you can kind of tell that he's unrated, that it's his first tournament rather. Okay, so I'm black. So f3 first. I've seen this before, obviously. But yeah, so I mean, I was okay with it. I remembered my repertoire move correctly, but just simply e5. f3, basically, it's nothing earth-shattering. It's kind of just a move order difference. White can still just transpose into the main English line attack here, which is actually what ends up happening. So now we've just transposed into the main line. And this move caught me off guard. I don't think I've ever seen bishop e2 before. Ever. And so that was that. I thought for a very long time here. Maybe 20 minutes. Maybe not that long. Maybe 15 minutes. But a long time. That's a long time. 15 minutes. Even though I hadn't seen bishop e2 before, it actually looked very decent because it stops a lot of things that black can try here, and it really supports a g4 push, which is basically what white is doing here. It also prevents knight a5 from being an option in the future. What I mean by that is often g4, g5 will be played, and then the black will play knight a5. But here, the bishop is already in place to just pounce with f4. So I really had to think here of what to do. So after about a 15-minute think, I played what the computer and the database agreed to be the best move, which was knight bd7. He castled queenside, which I thought was a little interesting. I thought he might want to play knight d5 or g4, or possibly even castle. Well, no, castling kingside makes no sense, but yeah, but queenside castling was not that unexpected though. And then here, I also think for a very long time, this was probably about another 15-minute think, possibly 20, like a long think. I was looking at knight c5, also knight d7. Sorry, knight b7. And I had another candidate move here too, which I can't remember. I think I was also entertaining rook c8, even b5. Yeah, those were kind of my moves. If I remember correctly, I think d5 doesn't work because he simply takes. Yeah, because we only have 2 pieces on it. He's got 4. So yeah, so my candidate moves here were knight db7, rook c8, b5, and knight c5. Hello, Fish for Life Chess. None Too Smart. Oddborg. Welcome. So yeah, I thought for a very long time here. I found issues with every move. That's partly why I was thinking. I know that in some cases, knight here does work because it helps support the d5 push. And I can't remember now why I decided against it. It was probably just like, I think just g4 right away. I think g4, and if I push d5, I think this is hitting faster. I don't know. There was a reason why I didn't play it. I ended up playing knight c5, which was not a great move according to Stockfish. Not so much because of what the move does, but more that I'm missing a move that offers more of an attack for black. So here it's recommending for white. It's giving white about a 0.6 evaluation. It's recommending takes, and then whoops. So it's recommending this, something like this for white. I think white is just, I don't know. It's liking white here. But I thought black was okay. I thought black was doing fine. But anyways, the computer in this, I think, yeah, it's close between two moves, but I think the computer actually ended up preferring b5, which is what Draconic Fate said. Oh, my throat's getting dry. Damn it. Getting sick again. I got over it and I'm getting sick again. So I think my fear here, which I calculated incorrectly, was I was scared of b4. Oh, sorry, g4. And the reason why I simply overlooked. Well, first of all, if knight here, what I was scared of was if I take with the knight, my bishop gets trapped. But I think I actually overlooked bishop takes knight because it's just a move that I wouldn't consider, you know, losing the minor exchange. So I missed simply this, which the computer does like here. And then a5. It's liking this for black. Even though the other reason I didn't like this is because this bishop is like terrible. But computer likes this. But I looked at this and yeah, in my mind, and I didn't like this bishop. Also, this looks really bad for black. In my opinion, this looks terrible. But I don't know. Computer's happy here. Really? I don't know. This bishop is just so bad though. White looks so much better. And it's white to move. So it's recommending this, and then if it's saying a4, the only move. Well, I guess after a4, this knight has to go back. That's probably a key characteristic to this line. And then we play knight h5, but I was scared about this. I guess we can take. It just works out that we're attacking the bishop. Yeah, it's very sharp. It's a sharp line, and it goes pretty deep. So, anyways, that's what I was scared about b5. But computer ends up liking b5 there. So, anyways, I played knight c5. He plays g4. I take the knight. Computer doesn't like this so much, but it's not the worst move. And then I played kind of a weird move here, but it seemed to make sense for me, but it might have been possibly a little premature. I mean, I can definitely agree. I don't know. Computer likes rook c8. I was a bit gun shy of rook c8 because often I've been playing moves like rook c8, rook f8, and that has often not been good for me. So I've been a bit gun shy about that. I played queen a5. Now I know that white could simply go king b1, but I thought I could still apply pressure here because this knight is kind of pinned in a way. And I thought that, I don't know. I can't remember everything I was thinking, but obviously I thought it was the best move because that's what I played. It's, according to Stockfish, it's the 5th best move here. So there were better options available. But part of my problem is I didn't even consider knight a4 as being an option. I think I was just considering king b1 mostly. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I didn't really. This was not my finest moment, but so I trade. And computer actually likes pushing d5 immediately. Which I think I'm not, why did I Why did I not just push immediately? I may have been scared about knight b6. I was probably scared about knight b6. But apparently d4 is fine. Yeah, I was probably scared of knight b6. Okay, so anyways, I go rook fd8. Oh god, you guys can see the comments. How can I change that? Here, there you go. So now I play d5, which was best move, and d4 was best, and d takes was best, and bishop takes d8 was best. So this is where these series of moves, white kind of threw away his advantage. I did calculate this out, and I think white may have missed that I could actually recapture with the bishop. It's possible or not, but maybe he also missed that I'm attacking the knight at the end of this sequence. The computer is pretty happy with how I played this. But I mean, the guy's playing pretty well for unrated, right? My first game. If this turns out to be a draw, I'm going to lose a lot of rating points because his rating is going to be like 900 or something. Computer doesn't really like g4 here. It's preferring pretty much any other move. Yeah, so this is why it's a mistake. Okay. So, and even here I forgot until I had to move up. So, the reason this was my mistake here, g4, and it's a subtle mistake, but g4. Well, let's see. You guys tell me why is g4 bad? I already kind of gave you a bunch of hints. Mr. Saban can't answer because he's already seen these games. So why is g4 bad? He'll just eat my pawn? Yeah, Case Money has it. Yeah, putting it... Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. So what I kind of missed was that his bishop could simply attack it like with his king. I just simply missed that. Didn't even consider it. Didn't cross my mind. So g4, that's a lesson for the future. Just completely missed this idea. And then when he played bishop e2, I was completely surprised. Like I was like, how come I didn't see that? Like, where did that come from? How did I blunder that? And it took a few moves for it to took 4 moves before this happened. But yeah, that was an oversight on my part. Man, my throat is getting dry. I'm getting sick again. God damn it. Okay, so yeah, so I was pretty upset with myself here because this guy is unrated. an unrated guy. It's my first game of the tournament. I'm going to lose a lot of points if I draw this game. And I might even lose now. Because, look, what's scary about this is not only am I losing this pawn, not only am I losing... Oh, stick around for the next game, Fish for Life, before I answer that. Not only do I lose this pawn, but how the hell am I going to keep these pawns? Look at this. He's going to grab these up. So I was kind of somewhat considering resigning here. Because everything just fell apart. So anyways, I played bishop d6. So the only move, a5. Now, it is opposite colored bishops. That's the only thing giving me hope here. But actually, I'm just completely losing, though. So I missed a move here. Well, king... Computer says king f6 is slightly better than king c7 or bishop c7. Bishop c7, a5, and b4, and then we're losing this pawn. So that's actually losing, yeah. But that's only if we take the pawn. So we can't actually take this pawn. b4 would be the best move according to the engine, but we have to take here. Okay, anyways. So I missed a move here, which was b4. If he pushes, I guess we can hold off this pawn from advancing, and everything is glued together. And if he takes, then we just take, and we can still stop this. Although I'm surprised that this doesn't become a problem. I don't know. Okay, so I played bishop c5. But this, yeah, oh, it was here. Yeah, so I blundered by not playing b4 here. b4 is the only move that draws. But I don't mind it. I mean, I probably didn't have a whole lot of time here. I can't remember how much time I had. Not a lot. Yeah, I did not have a lot of time. Maybe like, I don't know, 3 minutes or something. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of time here. So under the circumstances, I don't mind that I didn't find the best move or the only move that doesn't lose. So computer is giving white +7 here. And I was close to resigning, very close. But I thought, I'll just keep playing. Like, you never know. And it doesn't, like, I don't have much time left anyways. I'll just make some moves, see what happens. And he's still playing very quickly. And I'm just playing on. You never know. And he blundered. c4. Now he's got dark square issues. So I make the best move. And now I get 2 pawns for nothing. This is some of his inexperience from moving too quickly. If I had to guess, I would actually say he's probably a fairly high blitz player online, because he played the whole game like 15 to 20 seconds per move. And I was using all my time, which is amazing, right? So he's got to be a really high rated blitz player. He's probably like He's probably like 2100 blitz. Lichess. And I think it's just his inexperience of playing tournament chess, to use your time. And, no matter how far ahead you are, you should use your time. But this game is not over. Something amazing happens. So keep watching. I offer him a draw around here, and it's kind of funny too. So what I did was I made my move, and then I said, I'm offering you a draw. That's how I always offer a draw. I make my move, and I don't even look him in the eye. I just say, I make my move and say, I'm offering a draw. And then it's really funny. He ignored me, which is fine. And I don't know. I thought it was cute. Maybe you guys don't think this is funny. I thought it was funny. But he made his move, and then he very quietly said, I'm declining your draw. I've never really heard anybody do that before. Maybe it's proper decorum, but I've never heard of it before. But I'm thinking that he thought that was what people do, because very official. But normally I thought it was funny. Yeah, I know, but I think he just didn't know what to do. But he was dead serious when he did it. I'm declining your draw. No, it was, yeah. Oh, so I didn't mind because I don't know how he's going to win here. So. But watch what happens. Something very interesting happens, okay? I almost played bishop c7 here, because that was my plan. Just move my bishop back and forth. He can't do anything, right? Just move it back, bishop c7, back and forth, back and forth. But then I'm like, wait a second. He just moved really quick. Isn't his bishop just hanging? Isn't his bishop just hanging? And I'm like, oh my God. Did he just blunder? And then I look at his face, and he's dead serious, just looking down, no emotion. I thought, like, is he just trying to, hold it together, hide the fact that he just blundered? But then, I didn't move bishop c7 right away. I thought about it, like, wait, okay, let's see. Is it possible he did that on purpose? And so I thought, okay, so takes. Yeah, he's going to push. I have to sack back. But my king is closer to my pawn. And his king is going to be over here. Can't I win this race? And I was low on the clock here. I built up a bit of time because of the increment. So I did build up a little bit of time to think, but I didn't have a lot of time. By the time I made my choice here, I think I only had maybe 50 seconds left. So I did not have a lot of time. I actually played bishop c7. And my conclusion was that there was going to be a trebuchet. And that was scary. So I really thought here, because the simplest way to draw is just to move the bishop back here again. But I thought I might be able to win if I take the bishop, because, well, just because. So that's what I was calculating. But I thought that I would actually lose the trebuchet. And you know what? I'll tell you, with the engine, afterwards when I calculated with the engine, I actually do lose to the trebuchet, which is what I calculated correctly. However, what I forgot was, even though I lose to the trebuchet, I can still draw because I will still end up with opposition. For some reason, I forgot about that. That I just stopped calculating once I lost the pawn. I thought I'd lose the game, but wait a second. No, I would still have opposition. Now, that being said, the fact that I lose a trebuchet is all that matters, because that's too dangerous to go through when I could just play bishop c7 and just go back and forth and draw this way. So anyways, I played bishop c7 and then went back and then, yeah, then he agrees to the draw. So that was my first game, a pretty tough game considering my opponent never played a tournament game before. I'm gonna reduce the music volume. Yeah, and okay, here's the amazing thing, okay? He made this move. He made this move here. He spent maybe 5 seconds on this move, which is insane. Like, even if you're a grandmaster, I mean, don't you think? Am I exaggerating? I mean, he spent 5 seconds on this move. 5 seconds. It was like almost an instant move, and there was all of these moves, right? And I talked to him after the game. I said, was that a blunder? Did you mean to do that? Was that calculated? And he said, yeah, it was the only move I could. It was my only possible way that I could win. It was the only try I had to win. But I can't believe how quickly he did that, because I wouldn't even considered that move, not quickly anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was amazing. So that was a tough game. But yeah, so the game ended with a draw. That's game one. Wait till you see round two. Okay, so after round one, I'm not feeling good because I drew an unrated. I've had terrible tournaments all year long. This is my 7th tournament all year. My 7th tournament all year, and I've had terrible tournaments all year round. I was really hoping to do well in this tournament. I was 4th seed in this section, and first game is a draw against unrated. So okay, anyways, how did he do in the rest of the tournament? He blew one game because, as I said, every game he spent like 15 seconds per move. He blew one game that he was winning. If he had won that game, I think he would have finished 3.5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5, something like that. Okay, Jay Connife, let's not do any spoilers. The timing on that was terrible. Okay, anyways, so here's round two. Round two, oh, I forgot you guys can't see my screen on the side. So round two is day 2. So rounds 2 and 3 were on the second day. So this game was in the morning, and my opponent, this is his second tournament, so maybe a little underrated. So this is a kid. I am white this time, and his rating, at the end he had his original time, 1 hour and 30 minutes. I had, well, because of the increment, excuse me, I had about 3 or 4 minutes at the end because of the increment. I actually had 8 minutes at the very end because we made a bunch of moves and I got increment time there. But he had 1 hour and 30 minutes. He only spent 15 to 20 seconds per move. Okay, anyways, this game, round 2, my opponent is 831. 831. So I don't want to scare you, Norbert Noodle, but watch this game. Okay, this is what an 831 opponent looks like. And I have a little bonus thing at the end of this game, but oh my god. Okay, watch this game, guys. Yeah, 831, and he. It's hard to guess his age. I'm thinking he was like 12 years old. Yeah, it's kind of hard to guess. 11 or 12. Yeah. And I was really expecting the Najdorf here, but he played e6. And unfortunately, because I hardly ever see this, I forgot my repertoire to move here, which is from one of my favorite games ever, from one of my favorite players. And I think this is, yeah, it's this opening. Yeah, and I just forgot my repertoire move. I just don't see this opening enough. So my repertoire move here is G4, the carries attack in the Scheveningen variation, which is the whole reason why people play the Scheveningen in the Najdorf, so after A6 and then E6, because then the delayed carries attack is not nearly as strong. Not too smart. I could be wrong, but I think it's partly the area I live in. I think the area, the tournaments near me, the amount that people are underrated is unbelievable. But I don't know. I could be biased because I'm just having terrible tournaments. Could easily be biased, but yeah, I don't know. This game is an amazing. Anyways, so this is, I missed G4 because I just forgot about G4. So then I was considering Bishop E3, but it just didn't feel right. But actually, Bishop E3 is totally fine and good as well. I'm really losing my voice. I'm not. I don't know though. None too smart. I don't know. You could be right, but the reason it gives me pause is because oftentimes on lead chess, when I look at players' accounts, people say that their FIDE rating is whatever, or the USCF rating is whatever, but it's like way higher than I think it should be. Okay, anyways. I played Bishop G5. I was just thinking that this was... I couldn't remember theory here. And it resembled... This is very close to a Victor Rauser. So I played Bishop G5. This is a move, but G4 would have been so much better. Okay, so he plays Bishop E7. And this, after Knight C6, we actually transpose into the main line of Richter Rauser, which I didn't realize at the time, just in hindsight. So we're again in the main line of Richter Rauser. H6 I thought was probably not the best move here. Yeah, and I took, which is the best move. And I took, which is the best move. And we win a pawn in exchange for having to get double pawns and 2 isolated pawn islands. Bishop C4, best move. I'm just going to say, I'm going to tell, well, no, I'll tell you after the game, but I don't want to give any hints away. taking away these important dark squares away, getting a lot of space, also preventing f6, and also preventing f5. So I thought e5 was very good. So I had to be really careful here because black could actually just push the a pawn and win. Because this is a real threat, real threat. But yeah, so I was careful about it. I played g4. I was looking for an immediate pawn breakthrough here, but I couldn't really find it because, like, I was looking at like f5, for example, but the problem, whoops, I didn't mean to make a move. But the problem here is pawn breaks don't seem to work because black doesn't have to do anything. I think black can just ignore it. If I push something like f5, he doesn't have to take. He can just ignore it, and then the breakthroughs don't work. Trading the rooks was the best move according to Stockfish. Because I am up a pawn. I was up a pawn, so I was going by the, I was trying to get to a pawn endgame. I know that I do have doubled pawns, but I was trying to get the rooks off the board to remove any sense of complications by black. And oh, I forgot to mention this, even from about a year ago, the draw kid, a kid that offered me a draw every move. This kid, I think, beat his score. This kid offered me a draw maybe, I don't want to say 10 times. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 times he offered me a draw. And he started about here, around here or so. He offered me a draw. No. Draw. Yeah. I kept saying no. I mean, I'm up a pawn and I have reserved tempi, but after f6, yeah, it was a draw. So I felt terrible here. My first 2 games were draws. First against an unrated opponent, and then against an 831. 831. Like, I'm double his rating almost. 831. Okay, here's the kicker. I analyzed the game with Stockfish. Let me hide the webcam so you can see. Look at the average center point loss on both sides. If I can find how to do this. Okay, here, look at this. 10 average center pawn loss by me, 13 average center pawn loss by him. He's 831. I mean, I know that the game did simplify, but still 831. Come on. Oh, but that Stockfish gets confused, right? If it's up a pawn. No, No, Stockfish said it was a draw for a long time. These, if you let it run longer, it says it's a draw. But I did make one mistake, and that was bishop g5 here. I forgot about g4. So g4 would have changed. I mean, g4, it's hard to get a draw, but so that was my mistake this game. But even so, I mean, 831s, it's not like they just drop pieces. People think that if you play against 831, they're just going to drop their queen on move 4. They're going to drop a rook. They're going to drop pieces left and right. But this is what an 831 looks like. A 13 average center pawn loss. I mean, again, yes, it was a simplified game. I mean, so it is easy to play. But still. Okay, I mean, it definitely got oversimplified, though. I mean, that's it. That's an extremely simplified game, for sure. Yeah, I'm surprised I couldn't do anything better. Well, kind of. They have some schools, like, they have some kid tournaments, and the kids are all part of this chess school that has over 700 kids where they get coaching. And some of the kids have private coaching. And yeah, some of them fly to other countries to play or across the country. Queen takes d6. It's every other move. Queen d6 is winning or plus 0.8. Every other move is winning for black. You have to take d6 here. Because d5 is coming, I guess. This is what Mr. Stockfish says. The real mistake was well, I can't really call it much of a mistake, but g4, I should have remembered g4. But I just wanted to show the game because 831 is my opponent. So, come on, that's tough, right? Okay, game 3, round 3. So I'm feeling pretty terrible here. This is the second game of the second day. And so far I drew an unrated. And I drew a 831. I'm quickly on my way to being 1200 myself. So I'm white again. Oh, sorry. My opponent is a slightly older kid, rated 942. So we're getting into the high ratings now. And oh my God, this kid did so many distractions to me. You would think I'm exaggerating. Almost wanted to complain, but I didn't. Also, there's a lot of interesting side stories at this tournament, which I'm just not going to talk about, mainly because my throat is kind of getting sore from talking too much. But there was a lot of interesting things. The tournament director at one point even was kind of swearing at a couple players and almost yelling at them. The game right next to me. Oh God, there was this one guy who made Brian Sullivan look like a saint. It was a oh my God, the guy was just talking so much. I have so many side stories, but okay. Yeah, so anyways, this game, my opponent is rated 942. Most of the game, he was standing while playing me, and he was standing behind his chair, and he was like rocking it back and forth, like boom, 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 and then he even drops it at one point and hits the player next to him, like he just dropped because he's like tossing the chair, and then it hits the player next to him, and they're like, oh, sorry, and it makes a loud boom. He would get water with ice in it, and then chew the ice, and then take another, and then kept getting up. Anyways, very annoying, but I don't complain. Whoa, shit! I don't want to show this here. Okay, here. I don't. For these things, I don't complain. I only complain if there's something that's like over the board. I mean, this gets kind of close, but if someone basically completely breaks the rules, then I'll complain. Oh, was that Michael J. Fox? Okay, so anyways, I play e4. When I played bishop b5, he let out an audible sigh, which I kind of, I mean, it's not strange, but I think kids are often, they're kind of used to players playing knight c3 here and bishop c4, but it's not like Roy Lopez is out of their repertoire or anything. And then my opponent makes a move here, which I think I've seen before, and I have, but I don't see it often enough, which was bishop c5. And I thought for a hell of a long time here. $25 maybe? 20 to 25 minutes I spent. I wanted to play c3, but I wasn't confident. I just wasn't confident after knight takes. I just can't calculate anymore. I'm too old. I'm too old and lazy to calculate, so I scared myself out of c3, which is a shame because that's the main line. There's also a second, well, tied with main line is a4, which is interesting. But I ended up going the safe route, and I played d3, which is not the best try from white. Oh, we've got my coach is looking at the games right now in the study. I wonder if he's watching the stream. Probably not. Hello, John Gant. Why is my mouth so dry? Knight takes e5. I did look at it, but it's obscene how bad my calculation is right now. I kind of just didn't. I basically thought it was too hard to calculate, and I just ignored it. Yeah, he's getting a headset. And we're making a lot of changes to our next session. Audio should be a lot better. Making a bunch of changes, so it should be a lot better next session. Okay, but yeah, I mean, I looked at it, but it just shows you how terrible I am at calculating now. There's just too much stuff to calculate. Even this and this, it's just too much stuff. It was a 2-hour session. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of, I'm not afraid to admit it, that I basically thought this was too hard to calculate, and I just ignored it. That's the truth. So I went with d3, h6. Just a reminder, my opponent is rated 942. So obviously I know that I'm going to get double pawns here, but I thought I was in a pretty good position if this does happen, because this rook is strong. A lot of sacking the exchange opportunities, and I'm also x-raying the f7 square, and my center is really strong now. So I actually thought this was a good move, but Stockfish doesn't like it. Yeah, Stockfish doesn't like it, but I thought it was a good move. Yeah, a3. It's kind of a slow move, but Stockfish says it's the third best move. Oh, I remember why I played it. Because it wasn't really a prophylactic move. Well, in a way it was, but I actually really wanted to keep this bishop on this diagonal, and I didn't want black playing knight a5 and losing the bishop. I really wanted to keep this bishop because I thought there's just too much strength here with this bishop. This diagonal and this rook is just too good. So that was my idea behind a3. So getting rid of my double pawns and clearing the center. Basically just protecting the fork. That's basically all that move is. I mean, I am doubling up the rooks as well, but... And I play rook f2 here. Apparently I missed a tactic according to Stockfish. Well, not exactly a tactic, but kind of setting up a tactic. It likes knight h2 here. I think it wants to sack immediately. So knight h2. If the computer plays something like... Well, let's give it a reasonable move. Let's say knight a5. Oh, maybe it just wants to jump here. Maybe it doesn't want to sack the change. It wants to jump into here. So what if he comes in here? Okay, it's just setting stuff up. Okay, it's not such a quick idea. It's a slow idea. Anyways, I played rook f2, just trying to double up the rooks so that I can sack here possibly. Played knight h5, which I thought was weird. I'm guessing that he wants to play f5, but this knight, this unprotected knight, looked weird, and I thought I could take advantage of it. So I played knight takes e5. We're hitting f7, and the knight is hanging. We're hitting f7 3 times, actually. But I missed an even better move, which was knight h2. So now if he does move the knight back, it wants to go rook a f1. So I guess we actually... Yeah, it's interesting because it's kind of like getting a free tempo. In a way. But it even just likes knight g4 here. Yeah. And also, it also likes, instead of knight h2, it also likes knight h4. Which is interesting. If he takes the knight, we can pick this up here. I guess we might win a pawn this way. Yeah, it's interesting. So anyways, I missed that. I played knight takes e5. I did look at bishop takes f7 Zwischenzug here, but then I looked at this, but then I didn't know what I was going to do here. So what is it saying? Oh, then it wants to go queen f3 or queen g4. Oh, that might have been good, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I would have been up a pawn there. Okay, so that I missed that. I actually think I was a little bit low on time. So when I played knight takes e5, I think I was a little bit low on time. By a little bit, I mean, if I had to guess, maybe I was at like I don't know, 40 minutes. So I mean, I had to I didn't want to get too low on the clock. A weird looking move, but just bringing the king to the center. Time to offer a trade of material. Supporting d5. Controlling the file. Got the central rooks. And then he resigned here. And I was happy he resigned instead of making me play it out, because I think I had about 8 minutes at this point, and he had half an hour, and I mean, it's pretty easy to play here, but he still probably could have drew the game out another 20 minutes or longer if he wanted to. So I was happy because I was really tired. This was the second game of the day, and you know, I just wanted to go to the bathroom and eat. Well, not eat in the bathroom, but yeah. So I was actually happy he resigned. When he resigned, it almost made up for all of his annoyances during the game. Not quite, but almost. Because he could have made me. Usually kids don't resign, so I was happy he resigned. Okay, so that was round 3. So recap. First game, draw against an unrated player. Second game, draw against an 831 player. Round 3, I won a game against 942 player. I don't even know if I get any points out of that. Okay, who wants round 4? And Mr. Sabon, did you see round 4? No, this tournament is a smaller tournament. This is, one of the smaller tournaments. No Blitz event. Okay, so this is new to you, Mr. Sabon, even. Okay, so round 4. I play a guy I hadn't heard of before. He's actually a correspondence player. He's played in about 4 or 5 tournaments, and he was doing well this tournament. I think he might have had... Well, he was doing pretty well. And he was asking me a bunch of questions before the game, like what type of opening do I like to play? What's my favorite thing about chess? Blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was kind of weird that he was asking me what openings I like to play. Like, I'm not going to tell him right before we play. But my opponent was rated 1263. And I was pretty nervous about playing him because he he beat 2 other players that were pretty strong in my section. So yeah, I was definitely nervous. Well, not nervous, but I had my guard up. Like, my other 3 games were, well, last game wasn't that hard, but the first 2 games were pretty hard. Okay. So I'm black. This is funny because this is the very first opening I played against Rowan James. I played against the first game I played in chess since I started playing tournament chess recently was the opening, and I played the same opening against the same player in 2 different tournaments. So I knew, I don't want to say a lot of theory because not a lot. It's not an opening that you really learn a lot of theory about, but I knew like a half decent amount of theory here. So I felt okay here. This is all familiar to me. And then for some reason, C3, I forgot what my repertoire move is here. I just simply forgot. I don't know. I just forgot. So I thought for a very long time here. How long did I think? I don't know. 15 minutes. I thought for 15 minutes here. Nothing looked good. I was, obviously I'm scared of D4. And I wanted to play E6. But, excuse me. But I was scared of, I was scared of D4. And then, I don't know, if I went something like, I'm scared of him pushing the pawn again. Now, Stockfish says black would be okay after knight e5, but I didn't think so. In my mind's eye, this just looked terrible. This looks so bad for me. So I didn't really want to play e6 because of that. And I ended up going with g6, which is... e6 is actually the move that needs to be played here. It's the main line. Second main line, if you can call it that, is g6. So this is what I played. I thought my bishop is going to do a lot better on this diagonal than it is on e7. And I thought I would have a bishop on the d5 square later. But e6 is definitely the better way to go because I had so many issues here with g6. But I still think e6 after this, it's still interesting. Oh yeah, so but you can't play bishop. So the thing is you have to play d5 here. And if e5, knight e4... is the move to be played. And that is like... I think I might have even looked at that too. I must... Yeah, I looked at that in my mind's eye. And I just thought, that can't be good because this knight is going to be trapped. It can't actually go backwards. And I thought if f3 is ever played, I'm screwed. Right? But this is the main line. And... black is supposed to be perfectly fine here. But that's a scary move for me. Like, I'm so scared of f3 coming. I don't know how that would happen, though, if something like this happens. Like, it's saying knight takes d4? What? Wow, tactics. Anyway, that's interesting. It's just interesting to me that this is fine for black. But I mean, even if he went here, it's saying I could take and black is fine. But I thought we've got no space here. But I guess it's almost like a French, where eventually we have to do a pawn break with f6. Actually, he would have to take this way. And then I guess this falls. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't play French as black, so I'm not familiar with this type of setup. Anyways, I played g6. And then I made matters worse when I played e6. And after the game, when I talked to my opponent, he made a very good point. He said, yeah, e6 is no good because you got to choose one or the other. Like I fiend out here, you got to follow it through. You can't try to play both e6 and here. So this was definitely I compounded my issues definitely by playing e6. He made a good point. I think so. My fear was I was scared of this, as we just discussed. I was scared of this because now my bishop has no scope at all. And come on, how could you like black here? This is terrible. Like f4 is going to be coming, maybe. This just looks so bad for black. So that's what I was terrified of, and it is bad, but this was even worse. So he does play d5. And I played what I had to play. Oh, and okay, so I got so angry at myself here. I thought for a long time here. I don't know, 15 minutes. Yeah, about 15 minutes. And so I'm like, what am I going to do against queen e2? How the hell am I supposed to castle here? How am I supposed to castle or develop any piece? I was trying to figure out some way. I mean, what the hell am I going to do? I mean, I could like go here or something terrible, but so what am I going to do? And I finally decided that I actually had to bite the bullet and castle queenside, as ugly as that looks. And then before I did it, I thought, maybe before I do that, I can play bishop g7 first, and then I can castle. But I obviously overlooked that bishop g7, he can still play queen e2. And now I can't castle after that. So I played bishop g7. He played bishop g5, which is a big mistake. The best move is definitely queen e2. So when he played bishop g5, I had a huge sense of relief. I was so happy and I felt so lucky I had a second chance here. I couldn't believe he didn't play queen e2. I really couldn't. So after he played this, I took a quick look to see, what was going on, and then I castled, and I castled so quickly once I was sure there was no problems. I castled almost as if he was allowed to take back his move, and I didn't want him to be able to take back his move. I moved as if, like I wanted to get in there. So then he plays queen d2, rook f e8, rook e2. Things get a bit weird. Not weird, but kind of weird here. Play king f8, rook a e1. And here I thought for Oh, no, it wasn't here. Was it here? Yeah, I think it was here. Yeah, so I thought for a long time, and I was deciding between knight f5 and knight knight eg8. What I like about knight eg8 is it's defensive, but I'm covering everything. Like it's like I'm covering this knight, I'm covering this square. I can even kick out the bishop with h6. Black is very well defended here. But I ended up playing knight f5 because I thought get out here. I thought I'm well defended, but I don't want to just be defending. I need to be giving white some problems. Because I don't really have anything going for me if I just sit back. And knight f5, the only thing that can kick out my knight is g4. But I figured out that g4 doesn't work because I'm trying to remember here. Oh yeah, my knight is just attacking it. So my knight is actually fine here. And if he takes here and then plays g4, I've removed some of the threats against me. I could even just trade here, and then I could go back here. I don't know. I thought it was worth a try of knight f5. Computer says that they're actually equal. Knight f5, knight g8. So it doesn't. They were equal after all. Oh, and this is what happened. Okay. Okay, here I thought for another very long time, 10 minutes maybe. Yeah, so I really wanted to play bishop h6, right? Because bishop h6 followed by f5 is looking like we can win the knight. But I had to calculate things here because there's a lot of problems after knight takes. So if king here, we're getting forked 3 ways. And if king here, I'm trying to remember. Oh, for one thing, he can just go back and he's up a pawn. And he could also come in here, which is weird, but this way it seems simple. But he could just go here and be up a pawn. Yeah. So I actually I played king g8, which was fine. Okay, oh, I forgot to mention something. My opponent during these last, let's say, 10 moves or so, was using a lot of time on his clock. A lot. And he gave me some information. Well, I don't know if I should talk about that. But basically, he was low on his clock here. He probably had about... hard to say. 15 minutes maybe. And I had a decent amount of time, I think. I think I had maybe 45 minutes, something like that. And so I'm not feeling so great here, but I thought I'm still doing half decently. I thought maybe I'm down by about half a pawn or a full pawn, something like that. And I played queen b5. You know, he might have had less time than 15 minutes here because I really remember that he was having some time problems. So actually, I think he must have been down to like 7 minutes actually. Yeah, he's probably down to like 6 or 7 minutes here. So, because I remember queen b5, I was kind of trying to just give him stuff to think about, and while still playing like a decent solid move. So queen b5, and he played g4, which confused me because, I'm attacking his rook. And so I thought here, and, just checking if there's any immediate problems. But I had already, before I played queen b5, because I thought for like 10 minutes on this move, I already kind of looked at g4 and all of these possibilities. So I kind of knew I was safe already. So I thought for, I don't know, not so long here, maybe a minute and a half, something like that. And I take, and at first he doesn't do much, but then he starts to go crazy physically. Once he realizes that he kind of just hung a piece, he starts, just can't believe it. He's so angry at himself, and just terribly distraught. And he doesn't even recapture the rook. He's so distraught. He's just, you can't believe it. He's really, 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 really devastated. And eventually he takes back, and he's even just his eyes, he's just like this, like that. And he just keeps shaking his head like this, it was almost so dramatic that I thought he might be trying to, feint his displeasure in the position, that this was all planned. I'm like, it's almost too much. But I had to take here, so I took, and so I give a check this way, and queen takes d5. Yeah, he's really low on the clock here. He's got about 2 minutes left. So he's got about 2 minutes. I probably have about 40 minutes, something around like that. He plays f6, which is the best move. I play bishop h6, trying to trade material and simplify, which was the best move. And he plays h4, which was good. And I take pretty quickly, which is a bit of a mistake because I should have... I was trying to play a little bit quicker because I was trying to pressure him on the clock. I know you're not supposed to do that. That's kind of the opposite of what you're supposed to do, but I still do it anyways. In a sense, I kind of balance it out where I'll play a little bit quicker than usual, but I still play quick. I still play slow enough where I'm making sure I'm not blundering anything. But by taking, I kind of missed the idea of this is actually pretty damn dangerous for my king. And so taking actually isn't the best move. It's not a bad move per se, but this is pretty dangerous. So I should have at least considered that, which I didn't. Oh yeah, so you already saw the move I made, but here I thought for a very long time, like 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes, which is a lot of time considering my opponent only had 90 seconds here. And my opponent was still doing, he's still shaking his head. And I thought, that's a bit of a psychological trick because, he might want me to be overconfident because, this is scary. If I could easily screw up here. So I was considering a lot of stuff. I was considering king h8 and then... this type of thing, but I ultimately decided against this, even though Stockfish says it's good, because I thought, okay, this rook for the rest of the game can't move, and then I'm stuck with. But then I do have a free queen, and he wouldn't have a free queen, but eventually he could move his knight out, and I don't know. I didn't like not being able to move my rook. So I went this way, deciding to trade or to basically give up my H pawn. And I decided to give this up in order to get an active rook and an active king and an active queen. But I still had to be a little bit careful about this pawn running. And I actually thought that white had a fair bit of play here, but he actually resigns. So he resigned here. And then we went to the Skittles room and went over the game in a fair bit of detail, actually. And we talked a fair bit. And then I said I had to go because I only had like 20 minutes left to eat lunch before the next round. I'm just going to get some water. So I won this game because my opponent blundered. He was low on the clock too, though, so I did have that going for me. But the key thing I learned about this game is E6 is the move here. You can't play anything else. Okay, so that was the first game of the day, and I had another game. And so at this point in the tournament, my score is 3 out of 4. So I made a bit of a comeback, and I'm actually doing not too bad. 3 out of 4. I'm in fourth place, I think. Yeah, I'm in fourth place, and I'm placed on the second board. And actually, I have yellow paper at this time. Well, I've got the duplicates. So the TD actually is recording the top 5 boards of both sections in these last 2 rounds. So it's the first time I've ever had recorded games. And I didn't have any time to prepare against my opponent because it's the second round of the day. And I hadn't looked at this opponent before or his games or anything, but I've seen him at previous tournaments. His rating is 1350, so the highest rated opponent I've played so far. He was having a good tournament. I think he was... Thank you for the follow, Ray Ford, 1977. Anyways, I was feeling pretty... I mean, I've seen this opponent play because there's only so many people, you know, and you tend to watch the games in various tournaments. So I've seen this guy around, and he seemed to be kind of a solid player. I wasn't really worried about him. I thought he would give me a good game, but I thought I had good chances of winning. And if I win this game, I would place second in my section. So if I win this game, I place second, and that would give me some prize money too. And if I lose, well, no prize money and don't get second place. Also, if I win, my rating goes up, or it should, a tiny bit. And if I lose, my rating goes down a lot. Okay, so I got lucky and I got a third white. It's only a 5-round tournament. So definitely lucky to get white. To be honest, I actually think in 5-round tournaments, I've been pretty fortunate in getting white 3 times most of the time. So I've definitely been lucky on that front. Okay. The French. An opening I used to hate playing against because the winner were. But actually, since I've switched to the Tarash, I've actually enjoyed the positions. So as soon as I play knight d2, when I play, I can often tell what my opponent feels by very, very subtle things they do. Probably from my experience as a poker player. Again, it's possible people are sending out fake tells, but even very, 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 very subtle things I can pick up on. And I felt that once I played knight d2, he didn't really know what this was. He's not that familiar with the Tarash. Tarash, I don't know how you say it. So anyways, he played knight f6. Not a huge delay, maybe 40 seconds or so, 45 seconds, something like that, maybe a minute. Mainline stuff. Mainline. Okay, mainline. Then he plays bishop e7, which I actually think in my previous tournament I played against a kid. I want to check that right now. Oh, no, it's different because the kid played... The kid didn't trade pawns. It was this game. Yeah, he played it first. He played bishop e7 first. Right. Yeah, so here this guy played more correctly, and then he played bishop e7. But I don't think I couldn't remember, but bishop e7 I didn't feel was I know it's not main line, but I didn't really think it was a line even, and I was correct. I thought for a fair bit here, I don't know, 7 minutes or so. And I played f4. And I've actually been calculating. So this is bishop e7 is not a theoried move. And I've been running Stockfish for the past 10 hours and 3 minutes on what it likes here. And currently f4 is one of the best moves. It's liking h3 by a hair. Well, I can't even say it's better, but it's liking h3, castling, and f4 as the best moves. But every move is very equal. But f4 is amongst the best, and I actually think I might stick with f4 in the future because it's a scary move to see. So I think I'm actually going to stick with f4 in the future. My idea was f4 and then knight f3 not immediately, but eventually, instead of playing knight f3 first and then I can't play f4. So when I played this again, I could tell. Thank you for the follow, Echo. Again, I could sense after f4 my opponent was not happy with f4. He was just giving little tells that he was not happy here. And he thought for a long time, like 15 minutes. Yeah, I thought for a long time. And he actually played a move which I didn't consider. And the reason I didn't consider it is because I actually wasn't at the board. I wasn't really thinking here. I was kind of walking around. It was the second game of the day. and I was tired from, you know, being in a different city. Tired and hungry, having to go to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. So normally I've been pretty, normally I'm good and I sit at the board almost the whole game. But yeah, here I thought I was pretty good position, and I just wasn't watching it. So he made a move which I didn't really consider him to play, which was F5. Which the computer says is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. And the move kind of bugged me because, I mean, white immediately shuts down my attack. Excuse me. So I played knight f3. My idea is eventually I want to break open the G file, but we gotta go slowly here. Plays knight b6, and again I think even longer here. I think this is a long thing, 20 minutes. Yeah, I must have spent at least 20 minutes on this move, at least. Yeah, I definitely spent at least 20 minutes here. Even though his move is so like non-threatening, I was really at a loss at what to play, because there's a lot of stuff that's coming. Like possibly knight here. And I was also just trying to find a way to attack. Yeah, I spent 20 minutes on this move, at least. I end up playing bishop d2, which is okay. But pretty much any move here is okay, according to the engine. It actually wants to castle, which I did not want to do. I wanted to push here. So computer actually likes castling. And that's the main line here. But it's also liking h3. Rook g1, which I did consider. Yeah, I really considered rook g1 as well. Okay, anyways, I played bishop d2, which was fine. I also think for a long time here, this was probably like another... This is maybe a 12-minute think. 12 to 15-minute think. So I was burning a lot of time. Because after this last move, I was probably down to 50 minutes. Yeah, I must have been down to 50 minutes here. 5-0. Which is not a lot of time. Well, I mean, for move 12, it's not. Okay, I was kind of happy to see castling. I played rook c1. And he played king h8, which is not a great move. And it was a weird move to see. So, I thought for about 5 minutes here. I mean, it was pretty obvious to me that black was planning rook g8 and to push this pawn. But then I just didn't understand it. And I just kept looking at it. And actually, no, I thought more than 5 minutes. This was probably like another 10, 15-minute think. And I just didn't understand it because this... If he goes rook g, if he, let's just say I make a non-move. And if he goes here and I go here and he pushes, I can still just take it because he's going to lose the exchange because I take what's a minor piece before he takes back with the rook. So I didn't understand this king h8 move. So anyways, I played king f2, and when I played it, is anyone watching? Just I haven't had any comments from anyone in a while. Hello, Jack 444. When I played king f2, yeah, he was kind of surprised, and he was like, thought that was very interesting. I could tell by his expressions. Computer doesn't like king f2. Okay, great. Yeah, computer doesn't like king f2. It still wants to castle, which I think is bizarre. I do not want to castle here. That's the last thing I want to do. It's recommending like rook c2, castling, queen b3. I don't like any of those ideas. I really want to push here. But I played king f2 with the idea of I want to play queen g1 and I want to push down here. And even without queen g, whoops, shit. Even without that, I was wanting to prevent, because I wanted, whoops, I keep misclicking. I want to push like h3, g4, you know. But the problem is this check kind of messes things up for me. So I thought king f2 helps prevent this check, right? Because now I can play like a blocking move, something like this. Okay, so I played king f2. Not the worst move, though. h6. I played h4. Trying to slow down a g5 push. He plays g6. And yeah, I gave it another good think. This was a 10-minute think or so. And I play queen g1. Which once I saw queen g1, I was happy because I thought that was a great move. Because we're just ready to push here. Yeah, I was happy with queen g1. It's not the best move. There's 3 moves that are better, but it's still a good move. G4. White is just looking so good, and I'm feeling great. I am in the last round of the tournament. If I win, I get second place and prize money. And my position is just beautiful. Straight in out of the Tarrasch opening. Maybe I should say Tarrasch, because Tarrasch just sounds wrong. It's got to be Tarrasch. But yeah, just this beautiful, beautiful position out of the Tarrasch opening. Just such a I just, everything is defended here. Like everything is taken care of. I'm defended against any counterplay, and I just got my own attack. I just feeling great. Evaluation here is just awesome for white. Okay, he plays rook h8. What do you guys think the evaluation is here for white? Make your guesses. Jack says +1. Any other guesses? Plus 0.8. I'm curious what Case Money has to say. Mr. Savon says 1.8. Prometheus says 1.2. Is Case Money here? Hello, Rusty UK 1972. Case Money says -0.8. I'm actually very surprised at all of your answers, because in this position, I was feeling like Superman. I felt like Superman here. The evaluation is +8. +8. I'm surprised you guys don't like this. I felt like Superman. Come on. How do you not? I'm surprised at you guys. Okay. I don't know. I'm loving this for white. I was really happy. I thought the game's going to end quickly here, and I'm going to have a great tournament, win second place, and get some prize money, and my rating will go up. Okay, so he plays queen g2. Oh, sorry, I mean I play queen g2, which is not the best move. I cut my evaluation in half here with this. It drops down to about +5, 5.5. It actually wants to take immediately. So he would have to take back with the e pawn, and then we have h5. And we're doing great, but it's okay. Still completely winning for white. Plays queen g8. And again, it wants me to open up this file. But I played rook cg8. And he plays king f7. And once he played king f7, I was pretty angry at myself. I was like, what the hell happened? I was just about to slit his throat. And is he escaping here? Did I miss something? Did I play too slowly? And I was really angry at myself. Now, the funny thing is, so I played g5, and then he closes it down with h5, and the position is completely closed on this side. No more attacks by me. Nothing I can do. I can't break through here. My whole attack is gone to nothing. The funny thing is, after he played king f7, white is still completely winning here. It was my mistake of g5 that shut things down. And I'm not 100% sure why I played this. I think part of it was due to the time issue, because I burned a lot of time up to this point. I probably had like 45 minutes left or something. And I was a little bit mad at my opponent because once he played h5, he literally out loud said, he kind of went like, not this loud or exaggerated, but he kind of went like, whew, you know? So I was a little angry at that, but here, I mean, okay, well, I'll get to the position again in a second, but so I thought black had escaped all my threats after king f7, and I was confused as to why and how he did that, because I thought, like, how did he manage, and how did I let him escape? I just didn't know what happened. Like, how did this happen? But g5 is really the big mistake here, because it allows h5. So that was a bad move. So apparently every move here is good, but an interesting move is, and the best move is rook h3. The idea being we want to triple up on this file and then break through where black has not a lot of room for defense. So this would have been a great idea. If he takes here, well, we just have a lot of room to work with, and we've got a lot of time. Everything is defended here. And if he plays h5, then we can take either way, but let's just say we take on f5. If he takes this way, we go rook g3. And so where's he going to go? If he moves here, we've got check. And then we have check. Like, we're just breaking through. Knight g5. Like, this is just, you know. So that's one way to do it. And if he takes this way, which is the better way for black to retake, I guess we have a passed pawn here, and then it's suggesting knight c3. Actually, this position isn't so clear to me. I mean, it's giving it a +4 for white, but there's still a lot of work to be done. So rook h3 was an option. There's also queen h3 apparently, which is just as good. So if h5, then we take, check, take, check. Oh, this is a sharp line. That's a sharp line. That's a sharp line. I wouldn't have played that ever. Yeah, so yeah, queen h3 is that's a hard line to see. It's also saying h5 would have been good. So if takes, we can just take here. I considered this line. Oh, sorry, no. It wants to take on f5. Yeah, because I considered this and I thought this might even be a weakness now, because he can target it with the bishop. And yeah, this is equal. So the key is I would have to take this way. So if he takes, oh, then this one. And then this is a little hard to defend. If he comes in here. Oh, we're attacking this pawn twice. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, there were other ways to break through here. I still think that the most interesting is rook a3 though. Rook h3 rather. Because even just rook g3 here. Yeah, actually it's giving it a +5, but this is still, it looks like a lot of work to be played. I'm not like, are we up a pawn? We're not even up a pawn. I'm surprised it's +5, to be honest. We do have a passed pawn, and we have more space. And this rook is not so great. And we have the bishop. No, we don't have bishop. Yeah, so I don't know. I am surprised it's +5. Anyways. G5 locks it down. And so, yeah, I'm down to like 40 minutes at this time or less. I might actually have less. Yeah, I probably have like 32 minutes at this point. And okay, this is all shut down. Nothing can be done here. I'm just going to have to move my whole army over to the queen side, which isn't going to be easy because my queen is way over here on G2, and there's going to be a lot of shuffling around. And black's pieces are actually on the queen is already on the back rank, so it's actually going to be easy for the queen to get back over here. Anyways, I play rook c1, starting the shuffling. I made these moves fairly quickly. Queen f1 I had to think a little bit of time on. So around this point, I would say I probably had about I don't know. Maybe 25 minutes left, and my opponent had more. He had about like he always had 20 minutes more than me. Yeah, if I had 25 minutes, he had like 55 minutes. So this wasn't the best move, and I wasn't thrilled to play it because I know that my king basically is tied to the square now, and as is my knight, because now I can't move either my knight or my king. But at the same time, I wanted the freedom to be able to move my bishop. So anyway, I played king e3. Yeah, instead of king e3, Stockfish is recommending knight c2 or bishop c3, or slightly better. Why knight g4? Because I wanted to trade this knight. I thought my knight on a2 was worse than his knight on c6. I know his knight here is not great either, but I wanted to trade. Yeah, I just wanted to trade knights here, and I couldn't really think of anything better. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let me get back to the position. Okay, yeah, here I was thinking that there was a high chance that there's going to be. Yeah, that's true, but I don't have a space advantage on this side here, though. I only have a space advantage here. Anyways, I thought there was going to be a very high chance that my opponent will offer a draw here because I am higher rated than him, and my position actually looks. I mean, I do have more space. I do have less time than him, so I thought that would equal things out. I thought he's either going to offer a draw here or it's going to be perpetual. So I went bishop d6. I could not decide between bishop c5 and d6. They're completely equal according to the engine. Yeah, so I thought very high chance we're going to get a draw. And I'm not sure if I would have accepted or not. I actually think I would have. Just because I was lower on the clock and he is closely rated to me, similar rated to me. So I thought a draw might be okay. Anyways, he didn't offer a draw and he actually took pretty quickly. I took it with a queen. Stockfish actually likes to take it with the pawn. Slightly. And I was actually feeling pretty good here. I blockaded his pawn, so that's taken care of. And I'm controlling these squares from his knight. And the best part of all is I've got a light squared bishop, and all of my pawns are on dark squares, and he has a light squared bishop, so his bishop can't do anything against my pawns. And his pawns are all on light squares, and I've got a light squared bishop. So basically, white is so much better here in that respect. So I was feeling pretty good here, actually, and I thought my chances for a win were actually pretty high. I was probably down to about like 6 minutes here, by the way. So d4 scared me because king d5, oh sorry, king e5, or it's a bishop e5, and now my king can't go anywhere. And actually, I was scared of bishop here. I looked at that afterwards. That was very scary because then this pawn is queening. So I go back with the king. I had like 2 minutes here. I was down to like 2 minutes. And this was this was just a pure blunder. Did I not run this thing? Okay. This was, but king a5 was just a huge blunder. Well, oh shit, I didn't mean to go back here. So, where was I here? Yeah, so I go back. Which is kind of weird. Why did I do that? But I mean, I was low on the clock. But there was a winning idea here, which I just did not have enough time to formulate. I'm sure I would have seen it if I had more time. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. Easier to see when I tell you that there's a winning move. What's the winning idea? Bishop c4? No. I guess that works. Stockfish says it works. I guess that isn't. I guess that does work. Oh shit, that does work. Oh man. Why did I play king a5? Ah. I was low on the clock. Ah. Why did I play king a5? So bishop c4, if he comes in here, take, and if he pushes, my king can stop it. Oh god. Damn it, this was totally a clock. This was a totally a time management game. God damn it. Okay, so bishop c4 would have been a nice, easy response. Yeah, so I played king a5. Bishop e4. Now I play bishop c4. Does it count? So here, I was considering... Okay, well... I was considering... Like, the problem with bishop e2 is after he pushes d3... Oh, I guess this is still fine. Bishop d1. I think I was scared of this. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. I just didn't have time. Why? I definitely considered this. This was a consideration. Oh no, I remember now. I remember why I didn't, because of this. That's why I didn't play bishop e2. But the trick here, is, and this is the winning idea of something that should be spotted. Boom. And I just did not have enough time to look at this. And I'm sure if I had ample time, I would have seen this. I'm sure of it. So obviously, this can just queen. And if he does nothing, I actually have time to take it. Or I can move in the king. Yeah, and if I had seen this, it would have been beautiful, right? Because bishop c2, he probably would have played bishop. He probably would have played bishop in c2, feeling very confident and happy about himself, and then this would have just given him a heart attack. Now, Stockfish says this is actually a draw after takes, g6, d3, g7, d2. It says this is a draw. In fact, it's white that's fighting for the draw. Now it actually says that, yeah. So this would be a draw with a lot more moves, but let's see what happened in the game. So I actually, yeah. So I played bishop c4, and I just did not have enough time to calculate things, because I was down to like. I basically had like a minute or a minute and a half on the clock. Yeah, about a minute. So d3. And Unfortunately, this bishop just does a perfect job of stopping my pawns. There was not really any way for me to continue pushing them. What about king a5? No, the problem with king a5 is he can just grab these pawns, and if I push here, he just trades, and if I push here, he just takes. And this is, well, it's actually, that still would have been kind of close though. King a5, so king e4, b5. Wait, how would I do it? What if I go king here? It takes. If I take here, can't I just? Bishop f3. Then I'm going to be too slow. Okay. Anyways, so the game proceeded like this. I mean, I thought it was worth a shot because, you know, in game number 1, I managed to draw. And here I didn't have anything to lose because, I mean, I only had like a minute on my clock. So it's not going to, it's worth a try, right? And actually, look what happens. We got some play. And look, if we're going to queen with check, it's white's move, and we're going to queen with check before he does. Unfortunately, as we can see here, this, oh, why is it doing this? Yeah, so g6. What? Yeah, so unfortunately, his bishop can stop our queen in square. So I resigned, and I was pretty devastated. So I didn't finish second place. I didn't increase my rating, and I didn't win prize money. 62 move game. Actually, I think I resigned on f3. I actually think I resigned here. Yeah, I must have. I don't know why I have g6 in the game. Could have run a computer analysis on it. I hadn't yet. So a tough game. That was a very disappointing game though, because I was just completely dominating out of the opening into the early middle game. Like here, just +8, and I was just feeling super good here. G5 halted all of that, but to proceed here, it's not simple. It's really not simple. Yeah, rook h3 would have been interesting. So if h5 takes, is that really the best move though? Okay, so h5. I guess I could take this way. This looks more interesting. Yeah, so maybe taking on h5. So he takes with the rook, then rook g3. If he takes here, that's going to be terrible for him. Yeah, so rook h6, h5. If he takes, we're just taking this pawn. So rook h8. Yeah, sorry, queen h8. This, yeah, I can really break through here. Not sure about if I would play b4, but I mean, it's not a simple game for white by any means, but white definitely has the initiative here. I don't think you can even sack there. Wow. Yeah, it would actually be a very interesting continuation, but The fact that I just allowed it all to close down was G5 was terrible. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I played G5. That was the worst move I could have played here. Oh. But also the other things were, I made a couple of other inaccuracies here. Here it wants me to take immediately, because you have to take with the E pawn, and then this is coming. If here we can just take, and this is, you know, if he takes back, we just, yeah, that's really good for white. So I could have taken here, and here again I could have taken, instead of rook cg1, I could have taken again. He has to take on with the e pawn. So take, and then rook cg1 or h5. First we just take, and we just take twice. So yeah, and if it goes in like knight c4, yeah, would have been interesting. And then the other mistake was basically time management, because here white is just completely winning in many different ways. And it would, if I had more time, I could easily mop this up. I just didn't have enough time. I spent too much time. It was mostly in the open. It was mostly out of the opening, like, basically, like all of these. Well, I spent way too much time on bishop d2, way too much time on a3. Those two moves alone, I spent like half an hour on. So that was really bad time management. I just don't want to lose early, you know? I don't want to make a mistake early. And then, yeah, and queen g1 took a lot of time. And then by the time I had to switch everything over here, I was already a fair bit behind on the clock. Okay. Anyways, you can see the analysis graph. You can see how high I was at one point. And I was winning most of the game. It's just at the ending, I just ran out of time and out of steam. So that was my tournament. My next tournament won't be until January, late January, at the same location, another 5-round tournament. And then the tournament after that won't be till April. So I have 2 more tournaments in the next 6 months. So it's the slowest time of year. So no tournaments for me for a while. 2 tournaments in half a year. I'm just going to have to improve a lot online during that time. And now that I have a chess coach, maybe that will help me as well. So I'm actually going to end the stream here tonight. Usually after I do a recap of my tournament games, I'm too tired to play any chess. But I hope to get back to things tomorrow. I might actually do a stream with FIDE Master Alessandro tomorrow. Maybe. Don't know if I can afford to hiring him. But he did purchase a headset, and I have some other improvements made to the stream. So the audio should be a lot better, and the video quality should be better. So we'll see. Anyways, that's it for me tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow. Good luck in your games. Have a good night.